I will say is that I'm not going to edit any of this, so whatever we say, if you have them blind, and it'll be in the video itself. Do you know what I'm amazed about? I'm always thinking your dad was Anthony. Yes. Was he Anthony Senior? Yes. Like your same name?
He was more Tony.
Tony.
Yeah.
But well, I wonder what Tony would make of. What is it called? Vegetable bouillon, organic seasoning. I'd say he'd be delighted to know that you've got such a range of stuff that's going on here. But yeah, the first thing I was going to ask you, lads, was the idea that my mum told me, who as you know lives up Blackberry Lane, and she has a bit of the history, and she knows that George Roberts was originally the butchers here, going back to the 60s and 50s, was it? Or
yes.
Yes.
Ah, right. And unfortunately, he did actually he was just buried last week. I didn't realise that. My mum just told me today.
Yes.
But,
he passed away recently.
So when did your father Tony get involved here then?
Tony took over in 1958, September.
Right.
He came late, and from then on, they've been in the family business. But going back even beyond Roberts, Hayden's, and you'll remember Ollie Hayden from the village, his relatives or ancestors owned this, the old Boss Hayden. That's going way back.
Right.
But it changed hands from Hayden's a few times, ended up with Roberts, and then father bought 1958, and we've been here since. We took over in 1991, when our father said he was going into hospital for a week or 10 days, and he said, "You run the place for a while." And we're still waiting for him to come back.
He's having a good lie-in. I think he worked hard, so I think you need a good lie-in every now and again. It might be a few years, might be even a decade or two. Or,
now, as we've said more than once, his opinion of us then, and wouldn't have changed to this day, was we're a pair of gobshites and we won't last long. You know the usual Irish parents praising their offspring.
Right.
You could have done better. and words to that effect.
There must have been a part of you though, because obviously you grew up and knew the business really well, but there must have been a part of you was slightly petrified at taking on, if your father's been running it and you've been helping him and all that, but the idea of you're actually going to drive it now, you're going to take the steering wheel and drive it. But did it take you a little while to get yourself comfortable?
We were always waiting for the hand to come back on the steering wheel, because
right.
he said he went into the hospital and said, "I'll be back." He never did. So that never happened.
Right.
But they're looking for some of our customers helping us out.
Yes, because they
just one of the things would have been, there was Mr. Marcy.
Mr. Marcy
came in and he asked us for
the tree lamb chops. I always get.
Right. So we were here and we said, "Well, is it the sideline, the centre line, is it the jigget, is it the shoulder chops?" He said, "I don't know, whatever your father used to give me a call." With him not being here.
Right, it's a little bit.
So with the help of our customers and a bit of deciphering, we managed to muddle through for the first while.
I think when someone says they'll have the usual and you don't know what that is, it takes a while to figure out.
Your father knows.
Yeah.
Another good example was Mrs. Dillon down Applewood Heights, and she came in and rib roast, 3 pound weight. So we put a 3 pound race, and this went on for about 2 or 3 weeks, and she came into us one Saturday and said, "Listen lads, we're having a problem here." And we said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Rib roast. Now, I'm not always asking for 3 pound weight because I knew your father. And as butchers go, if you ask for 3 pound, you'll get 4.5. And I really wanted 4.5, so I asked for 3 pound. You're giving me 3 pound, there isn't enough for the next day." So we have to move it up a bit.
That litre of milk isn't quite enough. I need 1.5 litres in the litre if you could put it in.
Yeah. But when you're dealing with people who usually sell by weight, they're always on the generous side. When you ask for 1 pound, you'll get 1.25 pounds.
So did it take any kind of changing of routine or any kind of sense of this is a new dawn when you settled into the idea that now you're going to run this?
Yes.
I mean, has it pretty much? I know it's you could say it's changed now. We just looked at the new products and all that, but I think it did seem to me that it just carried on pretty much as usual, and there wasn't any great big upset about the changing of the.
Gradually over time, things have changed in the sense that we're doing a lot more marinated product now.
Right.
We're not doing prepped.
Okay.
Plus the fact, chicken. In my Father's Day, you got a chicken. It was a whole chicken.
Right.
Nothing but a chicken. So now we're doing chicken fillets, you're doing chicken wraps, you're doing breaded chicken products.
Right.
And all that he wouldn't have done in his day.
And was that a gradual thing, or did you guys sit down and make a plan about we've got to cater for a whole new kind of...
A little bit of, we realised that things were changing because the customers were asking for a product that you didn't have.
Yeah.
And if you didn't stock it, they were going to go and get it somewhere else.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, it was a customer-led change.
Right.
But it's like every generation, every time, things will change. You have to change with it.
Yeah.
Now, my father would have been more very plain. Everything would have been left on the bone, a slice of ribs. It wouldn't have been diced up. You could get it diced up, but you would have bought it
Right.
on the bone, as he would have trained at.
Yeah.
And then he would have diced it up for you. Whereas we would just dice it up, have a tray of diced beef there, and people would say, I want a pound or a pound and a half of that.
So before, like when your father took over, had he got a background in farming, or had he got a background in this area that he knew, that he was interested in?
He was trained as a butcher from when he left school when he was about 14.
Oh, right.
He went to serve his apprenticeship, served his time. He then travelled around the country working in different butchers, gaining experience. He ended up running a couple of different shops in different places, but all the time his whole thing was to have his own premises.
Right.
And back in the time, they were debating, well, that's my mum and dad were debating about whether to move here to Delgany or up to Cavan.
Right.
He's originally from, both of them are originally from Longford, but they were down in Port Arlington at the time.
Okay.
So it was a big decision as to which way to go. So they decided to move up where there was plenty of money. So.
Rich and beautiful people too. Everyone's got money up in this part of the town. We're a good-looking race. I would think too that as much as the Happy Pair is sort of seen as poster boys for vegetarianism, and obviously there's a sort of, you know, a growth there that's a great reputation and almost a world brand. Do you feel sometimes, because you would be probably the most famous butchers in the area, do you feel that you're sort of having to, I don't know, like there's a public part of that you need to sort of, you know, be presentable? Obviously, you look presentable. I don't know if you've ever thought about making Anthony presentable. Is there any possibility that you could?
Impossible?
Yeah, that would be difficult. But
I already have one woman. That's not any more presentable. Then there could be a whole track of it.
I doubt it.
But the idea of the
That'll be Kojak, bald head and all that.
But the idea of a very kind of well-regarded, you know, and well-awarded kind of brand, there's always a potential now to just move beyond your normal small shop and expand. And is that something that you've ever considered? Because there is a love for the place.
Yeah. The logistics of doing that, like you mentioned Happy Fair, I mean, they're very fortunate in that they work very hard, they built up their business, but they have a huge staff behind them.
Yeah.
Whereas, not to say that we don't have good staff, we got Robin. That's the usual responsibility after Robin. But it's just a matter of space and our limitations on the size of premises we have, and because we have the abattoir ourselves, fridge space, the whole thing, and expanding that, it would be a huge job undertaking. And you also would be running into problem with the department. That if we tried to expand, they would like us to move out of the village.
Right.
And we would prefer to stay in the village. We're happy the way we are. We're pushing along nicely. We've got a good customer and loyal base, so we're quite happy.
I would think the church should be gone soon. You could use that premises. There'll be an empty space up there soon enough.
You know, there could be a marketing strategy up there somewhere.
But that notion then too of continuing on, I don't know whether you already sort of see that happening, because you guys are deep in it and be like another good few decades of doing this. Do you sort of think about the long term, because it is now a family business, and you would obviously kind of hope, I would imagine that it continues on to be a family business?
No, we want to cash in, sell out at the top of the market and clear off to sunny Spain. we missed the last time. We won't miss the next one.
Rocking and roll. Thanking you. That's gorgeous.